Time trials coming out. The F3 sleds ready to make their way onto the racetrack. Looks like we have 24 entries. We will have a few more. We may have a few more time trials in that, as there's a couple that have double entries, and they may, if they're not happy with their qualifying, attempt a second time, but you can only buy back in for a second attempt until we run our 24 sleds for the first time through. Although I do understand we may have a scratch. So looking down through here, actually, Bobby Menny is a scratch on that. He's here for Pro Enduro, not the WC. Got into the wrong category there, so we're going to scratch that second sled out there. So it looks like 24, 25. Yeah, so 23 and 5 buybacks here for time trials for the World Championship Snowmobile Derby. So I'm trying to get a total count here on our total entries for the weekend. I know we're over 300. We'll see if we can find that for you. Good racing action today. We have our Friday Night Thunder happening tonight, which will kick off a little bit later on this afternoon. I think 5:30 opening ceremonies for Friday Night Thunder here on this 62nd running of the World Championship Snowmobile Derby. Cody, are you okay out there? I can hear you. Give me a thumbs up. We're all struggling a little bit. I think it's across the country. We had a virus rip through or something, or a cold, or I don't know what it was. But we all seem to be fine, although we are all on a recovery. Get set to go. Our first qualifier coming out on the ice should be the 04 sled out of Ishpeming, Michigan. This is Luke Olson on the 04, 22 Polaris 600R. Meyer Yamaha sponsored ride. Shout out to the Meyer Missiles. I'm sure we'll see them in action this weekend. Best finish in the WC was 12th, and actually finished 12th in both 23 and 24, so made it into 2 WCs in a row, which with 24 sleds, only the top 12 will advance into the WC on Sunday. As the first rider goes around to set the pace for us, and he's going to be your quick qualifier at least for a little while. So Olson, of the Luke variety, down the back straightaway into turn number 3 on that clean ice, has got a beautiful groove going on, pushes, got tight down into turn number 3. That'll cost time on lap number 1. Combined 2 laps for qualifying. His first lap is going to be an 18.805, 18.805. So it's combined 2 laps, as you heard him slip the grip coming out of turn number 2. Had to back out of the throttle. He will be back for a second attempt later on as one of the sleds that bought into it. Second effort coming across, combined time of 37.318, 37.318. And for now, Luke Olson is your quick qualifier, which should take us into our second qualifier out Traverse City, Michigan on a 22 Skidoo RS 600. This is Tyler Town. Made it into the big dance last year and I think finished in the 9th position. So he'll attempt to qualify for another WC here today. So here comes Tyler Town. Look out. One of the crew members there. Boy, he caught himself. It's like a squirrel. Feet shot out from, I don't know how he kept himself from going down. Must break dance in the spare time. That was absolutely incredible. I could have swore he was going to fall. It's like watching The Matrix in real time. So here we go. Tyler Town bringing the Skidoo out onto the ice. And puts a little heat in the pipe down there. On a Polaris, they call that the dragon button. So you punch the dragon, which is just awesome to say. Heats up the pipe. The two strokes, I learned, run better when the pipe is hotter than the engine. So you keep the engine cold, the pipe hot, and they burn fuel a lot better that way. So here goes Tyler Town on his qualifying effort. One being the number one spot, got to be quicker than Luke Olson's 37.318, which was an mid-18 lap number one. But Olson definitely had some handling issues on his sled. Not so much the case for Tyler Town, although he scrubbed some speed down the apex at turn number 3 and 4. So lap number one going into the books, and he is going to cut a 19.046, 19.046. So Luke Olson's first lap was better than what you're seeing out of Tyler Town. So Town needs to get the spurs into the flanks of the number 2 sled. Skidoo, again, pushes tight through the apex. Second effort coming around. Can he be quicker? Well, he goes to 37.950. He will stay second quick on the number 2 sled. So Tyler Town, second quick for now. Get him cleared off the ice. Bring out our next qualifier. Next qualifier coming out is going to be a longtime runner here at the WC, the 102 Blaine Stevenson, actually a 4-time champ in the WC, picked up championships, dominated from 2018 to 2021. The Omni Training Facility, 2 Extreme Designs, Power Mad, number 102 sled coming out of Hutchinson, Minnesota. That's a 22 Polaris 600R. So he puts it on the pipe, and they hold that button down, basically dumps fuel into the exhaust pipe and ignites it and heats the pipe up. So it's not like a 2-step. I always refer to that as a lot of drag racing folks watch So not a two-step at all, but it does help with the hole shots, what it's all about. It's getting that sled up to speed quickly. As Blaine Stevenson takes the green flag, goes on the clock for the four-time champ. A lot of speed out of turn number 2 and down the back chute. Going to be one to watch on this one. Definitely one of the favorites coming in. Stevenson eases through the apex, brings it around. Lap number 1 for Blaine is going to be a 17.727, 17.727. You're looking at a top spot. So he spins the track on it. That thing's got horsies to spare. So he kicked it out of the turn number 2 with authority. He'll do the same thing out turn number 4, and you're looking at a new top time here as Blaine Stevenson goes P1 with a 35.525, 35.525, and that was by 1.7 seconds over Luke Olson. But Blaine Stevenson, if you're a betting person, you might want to get some cash ready to put on the 102 sled. It's a blistering pace, 35.525 for Blaine Stevenson. Tanner Foss getting her heated up over there. The Middle River, Minnesota racer on the 22 Polaris F3. Big Boy Vodka, Venom FloRacing sponsored number 14 sled. Coming out onto the track. Number to beat now, a very healthy 35.525. 35.525 to be the quick qualifier. Blaine Stevenson up top. Luke Olson, Calvin Cook, Tyler Town. And now Tanner Foss will enter the fray. Down into turn number 3 and 4 and onto the front straightaway. Coming around for lap number 1 for Foss. Opening lap is going to be an 18.079, 18.079, about 0.3 of a second off the pace you saw set by Blaine Stevenson, but not too shabby. Should be good enough for second quick if he can seal it up with another solid lap here on this second time around. Foss blazes onto the front straightaways. Combined time of 36.255. He will go P2. So P2 for Tanner Foss with a 36.255. Next sled out onto the ice, going to be Zach DeWald out of Eau Gray, Michigan. 2023 Polaris IQR. Mickey Sleds, Flannery Race Engines, Woody's Traction. Shout out to the Flannery family. I still love that picture from, well, now it's been many moons ago, Kevin Flannery on the vintage weekend. Way up high. Got to grab some gravity onto the front straightaway for Zach DeWald. Came out with a game plan. 3 for DeWald to WC, but also a very good enduro racer. You'll see him in action out here for the Myra Enduro that takes place. Also, you'll see him up the I-500, which is going to be broadcast live on FloRacing, and that is a beautiful corner down at that end of the racetrack. This is going to be a good opening lap for DeWald. He's going to go a 17.844, 17.844 for Zach. So he hunkers into the sled and brings it onto the backstretch with some authority himself. So 57 tight to the wall, down into turn number 3 and 4. Front chute bound for the number 57, 600cc screaming in the air, and he's going to go combined time of 35.773, 35.773. He'll go second quick behind Blaine Stevenson, so 35.525 still your quick time, but Zach DeWald, a 35.773, goes P2 for the number 57 sled. One Eagle River's own should be rolling out here on a 2023 Skidoo 600 RS. Woody's Traction, number 85X at Tavish Perry, slated to be next one here in time trials. Tavish Perry coming around, take the green flag. Skidoo a little tight getting into the corner, couldn't quite get through the apex with that speed. You saw DeWald when he ran out there, had a nice curve. At that end, that was more of a diamond maneuver for Perry's. Perry's having a rough time, just little carbides on the front of these things. Makes it a bit challenging. Opening lap's going to be an 18.468, 18.468. Second effort coming around again, not getting into the corner. Quite aggressive enough to get that good lap time out there for Perry. He's going to go at 36.924. That'll be fourth quick overall, though, for the 85X. So fourth quick out of 8 sleds with the 36.924. Back by about 1.3 seconds to your lead sled, Blaine Stevenson. Still your quick qualifier, 35.525. Zach DeWald, second quick. Tanner Foss, Tavish Perry, Gavin Peterson. Your top 5. So here comes your next qualifier. Matt Gady rolling out onto the racetrack, and actually a 2-time champ and your defending champ in the WC. Said, I believe, our quickest qualifying time we've ever seen out of the F3 sleds out here last year at a 33.934. Now, whether he'll be able to repeat the feat remains to be seen. This wind blowing across here has definitely got to be a factor. But the Goodwin Performance, Rickard Excavating, the Ravine Bar and Grill sponsors on the number 28 of 2025 Skidoo MXZ out of New Germany, Minnesota. Came away with the second place finish in the Vintage WC last weekend. As Gady cranks up the Skidoo down into the corner, he'll go way up high, grab some gravity here for lap number 1, bring some speed to the green flag and put himself on the clock. Top spot to beat at 35.525, 35.525 if you want to go P1. Last year, again, Gady qualified with a 33.934. He power slides down in the corner. Oh, lofts that left ski. That's going to cost a little bit of time as he has to feather the throttle. Opening lap of 17.942, 17.942. About 0.2 off the pace set by Blaine Stevenson on his opening lap. It's Gaedy's second effort. Nope. Snapped it down into the corner. Had to wait on the sled to catch up. Twain combined time going to be a 35.710. 35.710. He'll go P2. Just around Zach DeWald by a smidge, but Blaine Stevenson still your quick qualifier with the 35.525. So now it's Stevenson, Gaedy, DeWald, 1, 2, 3 on the field. Tanner Foss, Tavish Perry, your top 5. So Gaedy off of Stevenson's time by 0.185. Zach DeWald back by 0.248. For the record, a blink of an eye is 0.3 on average. So both of those sleds within the blink of an eye of Blaine Stevenson. Should be the Fox Lake, Wisconsin racer on the 2023 Arctic Cat ZR600R. That's Dustin Schwant, Rock Speed FX, 1051 towing and recovery. Benowoski Welding, number 326. Here we go. The game is afoot. Dustin Schwant down into turn number 1 and 2. Working at low line. Red flag coming out. Red flag coming out. No transponder. No transponder on the 326, or, well, it's probably on there. It's just not picking up. So 326, you can see the pouch on the right-hand side of the sled. So stopped him down here. We took a look at his receiver also, but the big thing here is the transponders. It's blinking, but it's not picking up for some reason. So we're going to set him up here and swap out the transponder on the sled. So transponder error there for the 326. We'll bring him back around here for qualifying, though. Take just a moment. So quick transponder swap. So take a look back at our qualifying so far. Blaine Stevenson, your quick qualifier, a 35.525. Matt Gaedy, second quick with a 35.710. Zach DeWald, Tanner Foss, Tavish Perry, your top 5. Then Gavin Peterson, Luke Olson, Calvin Cook, and Tyler Town, your top 9. Dustin Schwant is our 10th sled to take time here for the 62nd running of the World Championship Snowmobile Derby. Hey, while you're out here tooling about, don't forget to go down to the Derby Expo Hall and visit with all the fine vendors down there. We did have some vendors come in for this weekend that weren't here with us last weekend. We also have the vendors from last weekend here with us, so you can check out all the cool things down there. The Last Lap Saloon, located on the 2nd floor, and I'm told have the best Bloody Marys in the entire United States. So we swapped transponder. We'll put him, it's going to be just like he's coming out for qualifying as we speak. So he'll come around here and take the green flag and go on the clock for his qualifying effort. So the F3 sleds, again, a factory 600 in it. Obviously, the factory 600s put out considerable horsepower in this day and age, but the engine has to maintain its stock mounting location, so you can't move the engine around. That's one of the big things with the F3s. Makes them a bit of a handful to drive, as a lot of your champ sleds, get them slammed down on the ground, lower that center of gravity. Well, the F3s don't have that. So a bit more challenging, but closer to a factory sled, if you will. Still purpose-built for the ice. There's a lot of changes you can make suspension-wise and so on and so forth. So we'll get the pipe heated up again here for a whole shot start on this Arctic Cat. They heat the pipe up. They actually have a gauge or lights on there that light up and tell them when it's optimal temperature. So they're not just judging by the sound of the sled, as Dustin Schwant takes a green flag and goes on the clock. He punches the throttle and hops too. You saw the back end kick out a little bit coming out turn number 2 down into turn number 3. A little scrub for the 326 sled. Coming around here, opening lap for Dustin Schwant is going to be at 18.304, 18.304 as he'll power slide it down into turn number 1. That scrubs a lot of speed momentum onto the back chute. So not a shabby opening lap. Second effort. Coming across, combined time going to be a 37.108, 37.108, and that will put him 7th quick on the field, just ahead of Luke Olson, so right behind Gavin Peterson. So 7th quick for the 326 of Dustin Schwant. He was your 10th sled to take time. We'll bring out our next competitor. This will be our final sled before a quick grooming session before we go into the remainder of the qualifying effort. This is Ryan McKeag coming out of Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada. Sault Ste. Marie is where the I-500 is held, but it's held on the Michigan side of things. But Ryan hails from the Ontario side. The I-500 coming up before too awful long. Again, going to be broadcast live on FloRacing, and along with the World Series happens out here. That's a little bit later on at the Derby Complex, but you can find a complete schedule for the Derby Complex online at derbycomplex.com. Complete schedule for FloRacing, which if you have a FloRacing subscription, it's not just for FloRacing, it's for Flow Hockey, for Flow College, for Flow everything. There's a lot of cool things to see and do up there. And here comes Ryan McKeag on the 2023 Polaris IQR. Green flag held high by Rico down the inside. And transponder not picking up on this one too, so we're going to have to red flag Ryan McKeag and send him back around to the paddock area. So not sure what's happening here on the transponder department, but we're going to send him back around to the paddock area. You see the pouch on the side. It looks like he has one mounted, but for some reason not picking up. They picked them up yesterday. If you leave them on the sleds and the sleds parked outside overnight, that's really hard on the batteries, and all it has to do is drop the battery level, and it doesn't have enough strength to pick up its speed. Now, if you go slow, it'll pick it up. But, yeah, they're not going slow when they pass by Rico. That's interesting. I just learned from Brad Hockaday from Professional Motorsport Solutions that the batteries inside these transponders are identical to a cell phone battery. Same thing. So if you leave your cell phone out overnight, you know it's not going to work in the morning. So don't do that. So Ryan McKeag, different transponder, coming around here for green flag and lap number 1. That time she picked up. Yeah, so for you riders out there, whenever you put your, or go in tonight, take your transponders inside. Remember, if you're cold, they're cold. So here we come, lap number 1 for Ryan McKeag. It's going to go a 19.470, 19.470. Carried a lot of speed down into the corner, and unfortunately had to give it right back again. Get himself onto the back chute for the 67 sled. So Polaris a little high. No, off its feed for a long time. Down to turn number 3 and 4. That'll cost him some serious time. He is going to go with 38.764, 38.764. And he will be 11th quick out of 11 sleds. And that, my friends, will take us into a brief grooming session. We'll get things dusted off here before we continue on with our qualifying. Gunnar Stern, the West Chicago, Illinois racer on the 220 sled, will be out next to qualify after this brief grooming session. So a little brushing of the racetrack, and we'll be back with more time trials for the 62nd running of the World Championship Snowmobile Derby. Thank you so much for coming out here and joining us.
Why choose AMSOIL synthetic lubricants? Because AMSOIL delivers next-level power, performance, and protection. Built in a lab so you can feel it on the road. Run with us. Visit the AMSOIL booth or order from AMSOIL.com. At Case, we're not one of those companies from south of the state line. We were born in Wisconsin. We know the kind of snow your grandpa told stories about, sledding uphill both ways to school. That's why we're building machines that make Old Man Winter run away like a baby. Check out all the snow-removing muscle Case has, from skid steers and small articulated loaders to large wheel loaders and more, all with any attachment you need to push, plow, or blow Old Man Winter away. Case, no one will outwork us. Ladies, DSG Outerwear is your go-to source for not only snowmobile apparel, but hunting, fishing, ice fishing, heated apparel, and soon-to-be workwear. Founded in 2010 as a women's-only snowmobile apparel company, DSG has grown significantly over the past 13 years and is the go-to outerwear company for just about everything outdoors related. Stop by Trackside in the Expo Hall today to get geared up in DSG Outerwear or visit dsgouterwear.com. FloRacing and parent company WPS are proud to sponsor the World Championship Snowmobile Derby. At WPS, they opened their doors for business in the snowmobile industry 3 years prior to the first running of the Eagle River Derby. This event has served them well as the ideal venue to showcase their comprehensive range of snowmobile apparel, parts, and accessories. WPS and FloRacing are proud of their ongoing partnership with the world's most prestigious and historic snowmobile events. John Deere Gator utility vehicles are the official UTV of the World Championship Derby Complex. With a trail-ready lineup, John Deere Gators can tackle any terrain with comfort. The XUV 835R you see on the Derby track offers a full air-conditioned and heated sealed cab to keep you warm in the winter and cool in the summer. Stop by the John Deere booth in the Derby Expo Hall to learn how to buy show-used Gator utility vehicles with a World Championship Derby Complex discount and to learn about other John Deere products like their compact utility tractors and snowmobile trail grooming solutions. Remember, nothing runs like a deer. Launderville Steel and Concrete Supply is a metal service center located in Wausau, Wisconsin. At Launderville Steel and Concrete Supply, they specialize in all metals, carbon, steel, aluminum, and stainless, including chromoly tubing and sheets and hard-to-find metal. Tubing, pipe, sheets, plates, they have all this in stock and much more. And if they don't, they'll find it for you. Launderville Steel has their very own aluminum lug stake and pockets stocked and ready to ship. At Launderville Steel and Concrete Supply, they also specialize in concrete supplies, including rebar in various sizes of grade, insulation, sealers, ties, and concrete columns. Launderville Steel and Concrete Supply also has a rebar fabrication shop that can cut and bend rebar for your project, and they'll deliver and ship anywhere. If you want to explore the surplus material available in our outdoor steel yard, find Launderville Steel and Concrete Supply online on Facebook or at laundervillesteel.com.
Racers, start your engines. The 18th Annual Manawa Snowdeo, February 15th and 16th. 4 racetracks running all weekend featuring ice ovals, kitty cats, and more. The best show on snow. Go to manawasnowdeo.org or Facebook for details. See vintage snowmobiles, Merrill car, truck, drag, sled, ATV, and UTV radar runs. And the final race of the Decker Triple Crown, paying $10,000 to the winner. The Manawa Snowdeo, February 15th and 16th on Bear Lake in Manawa, where the big ones run.
Trigg Smokehouse presents the original Top Dog, the official hot dog of the Derby track. Stop by the concession stand for this all-American treat. Trigg Smokehouse uses only the best pork and beef to create this gourmet hot dog. Gluten-free and no fillers, made with our own blend of seasonings, you can rest assured this is a great choice for the whole family. Get more flavors at Trigg Smokehouse Top Dog at your local Trigg store or at TriggSmokehouse.com. Ultimax Belts by Timken is proud to be the official belt of the World Championship Derby Complex. Stop by the Ultimax Belts booth in the Expo Hall and check out the ultimate in snowmobile and ATV UTV drive belts. You can depend on Ultimax Belts on the Derby track or on the trail. Performance driven, performance proven, Ultimax Belts. A name synonymous with quality in snowmobile accessories and as recognizable as the snowmobile original equipment manufacturers where people ride snowmobiles. Woody's is a choice worldwide. A motorsports accessory distributor, snowmobile and track manufacturers, off-road vehicles, racing champions, sportsmen, and snowmobilers who want the very best in traction, performance, and safety. We are Woody's. 365 Power Sports, located just south of Merrill off Highway 51, is fully stocked with tons of winter apparel items. With over 500 winter helmets, over 600 jackets, snow pants, pit coats, 509 heated jackets, heated gloves, and more, all in stock and ready to keep you warm on these race days. That's 365 Power Sports, located off Highway 51, just south of Merrill. Find out more online at 365powersports.com.
Look at that. He snatched that cone out of there just like he snatched that child that one time. He's going to ignore that one. If you haven't seen a highlight of Rico grabbing a kid that was sliding down the ice and tossing him to the infield, you're missing out on a viral moment. So getting set to go here. We continue on with our time trials for the 62nd running of the World Championship Snowmobile Derby. As it sits, Blaine Stevenson, your quick qualifier, a 35.525 combined 2 laps, so it's combined 2 laps. Matt Gady second quick, back by 0.185. It's the number 28 sled cut a 35.710. Zach DeWald third quick on the 57 sled, back by 0.248. And actually, you can take your top 4 all within less than a second of each other. Tanner Foss currently fourth quick. Tavish Perry is fifth quick. Then Gavin Peterson, Dustin Schwant, Luke Olson, Calvin Cook, Tyler Town, your top 10. Ryan McKaig, 11th quick out of the 11 sleds that have been on ice. So bring out our next qualifier, and it should be our racer coming out of West Chicago, Illinois, on the 220 sled. That is Gunnar Stern on the 2023 Skidoo RS. Finished second. His best finish happened back in 2022. Thank you to Snowgrower Magazine for the wonderful article they put out. I got a lot of information out of that, and I appreciate that. Snowgrower Magazine in the hizzy, as the kids say, or used to say back in the early 2000s. Getting our cones here on the infield, we'll get them set, and then the track will be clear. So we're trying to get them out to mark the infield and give them just a second. They were behind the snowbank there. Gunnar Stern coming out on the, and I'm going to point this out, and I hope Gunner's not going to get in trouble for this. This is all on me. I'm saying this. Gunner's sponsored by Red Bull. And one of the interesting things that Red Bull does is when they sponsor a driver or a sled or a car or whatever, you're not supposed to give the Red Bull as a sponsorship. You're just supposed to see that on the sled, but it doesn't get mentioned by the announcer. It's never turned into the announcer as a sponsor. I always thought that was interesting, that they go on brand recognition. Just seeing that Red Bull logo on the side of it's enough for them. So I always thought that was kind of special. And that's the only time I'll mention that this weekend. All right, track is now clear. We get set to go. Gunnar Stern going to come around here, West Chicago, Illinois runner. Gunnar, a USSA Pro Star champ. Out here with the F3 sled for this WC. 62nd running of WC. Gunnar piped up. He's ready to rock and roll. So here comes the Skidoo. Down across the green flag into turn number 1 and 2. Stern, nice line, carves it smooth. Smooth is fast, oftentimes in racing. We'll see what he has here for this opening lap for the 220 sled. Coming around lap number 1 for Gunnar is going to be an 18.466, 18.466 for Stern. Punches the throttle out of it, lets it carve the corner. It gets a little wide and high. Or high and wide. Down in turn number 3 and 4 is going to go a 37.152. 37.152 for Gunnar Stern. That's 8th quick on the field. So 8th quick for the 220 sled. Bring out another Eagle River resident. Out Eagle River, Wisconsin. Should be Dan Voltner. coming out here on the 2019 Polaris F3. The 11V sled, next one slated to come out onto the ice, will be our 13th sled to take time. 24 sleds checked in for the WC this year. Only 12 will make the field. Wind has really picked up out here. You talk about some serious wind. Here we go. And Voltner coming around here, takes the green flag, goes on the clock for 11V sled. A little lower entry down in turn number 1 and 2, and we've seen he's got to keep it tight coming out of the corner and onto the back straightaway as well. So a very short corner on this paperclip track, which technically turn number 1 and 2 much tighter than turn number 3 and 4 to begin with. As Voltner coming around, lap number 1 for the 11V sled is going to be a 20.998, 20.998. He tries to keep that baby pinned down on the ice. Second effort coming our way here, Dan. A little tight getting into the corner. I think just doesn't want to turn as quickly as he probably would like on the entrance down turn number 3. Finish it off, though. Combined time 42.136. 42.136. He'll be 13th quick on the field. That takes out to our next qualifier coming out of Medford, Wisconsin on a 2018 Polaris F3. It's going to be Ezra Grauman on the 61 sled, slated to roll out of the Woody's traction control paddock area. But a tremendous amount of wind. Now, as you can hear it, those of you watching on the broadcast can hear it blown across the, we call it the Nat mic or the Wild mic. The big old flag, and that is a ginormous American flag down turn number 3, is standing straight out. It takes a lot of wind to do that. See him looking down, waiting for his lights on the Polaris. As he punches the Dragon there on the back chute, getting ready for that whole shot and get that thing up to speed for Ezra. As Grauman down into turn number 3 and 4, coming around here to take the green flag. And we're off. Ooh, just lost something off the sled. I can see it sliding up across the ice. I don't know exactly what that was, but she's laying up about the mid-track. Whatever it was, it's still out there. We'll have to get that gathered up. It's out of harm's way for now. Lap number 1 for Ezra is going to be a 19.581, 19.581 on lap number 1. So it wasn't a transponder. He's still scoring. It was black, whatever it is. It's laying up there part way up the track. I can take him right to it. That's not a good turn down turn number 3 and 4. It costs a lot of time for the 61 sled. Combined time is going to be a 38.938, 38.938. So he is going to be 13th quick on the field. So 13th quick for Ezra Grauman. Whatever it is, it's not hot. So that's good. So here we go, Eagle River, Wisconsin's Mason Schutte on the not 2029. Somehow I have 2029 in here, but it's Polaris IQR 600. Cook's Performance, DeLauder Racing, Woody's Traction, all sponsors on the 48X. ...2024 Polaris IQR 600. So Schutte, saw him in action last weekend at the Vintage World Championship Snowmobile races. Good corner down turn number 1 and 2. Sled getting just a little loose coming out. You saw the back end step out, but quickly hooked back up again on the ice. First effort coming across for Mason is going to be a 18.842, 18.842. Opening lap, and Schutte scrubs a lot of speed right there with a big old tail whip out of the deuce. Sees bib flapping in the wind down the back straightaway. He's got to get on the binders through the apex at turn number 3 and 4. Second effort coming around here. Combined time 37.246, 37.246. That'll be good enough for ninth quick on the field for Mason Schutte on the 48X sled. So ninth quick for the Eagle River, Wisconsin racer. FXR Woody's Traction, NGK Spark Plugs, number 29, coming out of Mount Pleasant, Michigan, 2025 Polaris 600R. This is Joey Birch onto the ice. Had a good run last year. Joey Birch going to be one to watch again this year. Finished second at the World Championship in 2024. So definitely a contender. Having said that, ice conditions much different this year than they were last year. So today for qualifying, a little warmer temps. We're up in the upper 20s. So the ice not quite as chippy as we'll find whenever it gets cooled down on Sunday, where you might want to bundle up for that one. Bring your chapstick. Birch going to grab the gravity. Take the green flag, and the 29 sled officially on the clock down at turn number 1 and 2. Boy, got that low line, chattered his way into the corner. He's quickly back to the whip out of the deuce. Down the back straightaway. Into turn number 3 and 4, trying to shorten it up. We'll see what he's got here on lap number 1 for Joey. And Birch is going to go 17.971, 17.971. Good pace on that opening lap. So we'll go after that top spot again. Combined time 35.525 to be quick qualifier. It's his second effort coming out for Birch. Brings it across. Combined time going to be, well, fourth quick. 35.981. 35.981 into the number 4 spot for Joey Birch. So back from the top spot by less than half a second. Blaine Stevenson still your quick qualifier, 35.525, 35.710 for Matt Gady, Zach DeWald a 35.773, and Joey Birch a 35.981. Your top 5 sleds now less than a second apart from each other in qualifying. Actually about 0.7 of a second in qualifying. Athens, Wisconsin racer comes out onto the ice with his 2021 Polaris 600R. Hijinks, DN Motorsports, CK Design, sponsors of the 221, and Reed Klinger. comes Reed. Boy, that's the lowest exit coming out turn number 4 we've seen to the green flag. He may be trying to storm the castle with a different game plan. Big power slide down into turn number 1, which gets you low on the apex. You can shorten up the racetrack that way, but boy, that scrubs a lot of momentum. See how it plays out here on this opening lap for the 221 sled. Opening for Reed is going to be a 17.812, 17.812. It's not a bad plan. We saw a lap similar to that the last time, got himself into the top 5. We'll see if Klinger can follow suit as he brings the speed down into turn number 3. That little bobble, whenever it back end kicks out and then the front end pushes, that loose, tight condition costs a lot of time. 35.579, 35.579 is good enough to put himself into the number 3 spot. So he gets around Zach DeWald and goes right behind Matt Gady in qualifying. So top 3 effort for the 221 sled. So now it's Blaine Stevenson, Matt Gady, Reed Klinger, Zach DeWald, and Joey Birch, your top 5. So this will take us into our next qualifier out of Morley, Michigan, 2023 Polaris R. Polaris 600R. It's going to be Dakota Harris on the number 23. His best finish in the World Championship came back in 2022 where he picked up a P5 finish. Always a threat to win here at the Derby Complex. Here we go. I love when they go up high and get a run at this green flag. Had her on the chip down the front chute. Boy, you hear that thing chattering against the rev limiter. It sounded like getting down into turn number 1, so he got everything out of it he could get on the opening. Well, at least half a straightaway from the green flag to the corner. So we'll see if Dakota Harris, no. He's around. That's going to cost big time. Boy, he got onto the throttle and it would not stick. Lap number 1 at 21.881. We'll see if he recovers here on this second lap, but not a good qualifying effort for Dakota Harris. You saw that slip of the grip coming out of the turn number 4. Good job keeping that thing from going over. That could have went horribly awry, but unfortunately, the qualifying effort won't be there for the number 23 sled. Faster than he'll look with a 41.361. 41.361. 17th quick for the number 23. Wausau, Wisconsin racer should be out next. Zach Rogers on the number 21 sled, 2022 Polaris F3. Coming out here for his qualifying effort. Just a few sleds away, 24 sleds checked in. You can only buy back in for another round of qualifying up until we run our last qualifier, which is Andy Shoemaker on the 22 sled. But that's a few sleds off. This would be our 18th sled, 19th sled to take time. Out on track as we speak here for Zach Rogers on the stealthy black Polaris. Well, he just kind of whipped it, gripped it, and ripped it out. Turn number 2 there for the number 21. Wausau, Wisconsin runner coming around here. He's going to do it again in turn number 3 and 4. Makes for a great photo opportunity. We'll see what it does for a lap time. It's going to be an 18.699, 18.699 for Rogers on his opening lap. So he needs to find a lot of pace, get himself inside the top 10. Pumps the bars on it. Combined time for Rogers, 37.462, 37.462, and that'll be good enough for 13th quick on the field, just ahead of Calvin Cook on the 75 sled. Next qualifier comes out of Fairgrove, Michigan on 2022 Polaris 600R. This is Tyler Foster on the 33T coming out. Lane Stevenson still holding down the top spot, 35.525. Tyler Foster. Low entry, high exit coming out of there for the number 33 T sled. It's Foster. Same thing in turn number 3 and 4. Comes around lap number 1 for Tyler is going to be a 19.793, 19.793. His second lap already looks just a tick quicker getting down into turn number 1 and 2. Second effort, a little loosey-goosey. That loose, tight condition we talk about a lot of times with these sleds. Combined time for Tyler Foster is going to be 18th quick on the field, 39.357. So 39.357 goes 18th quick for a 33T sled. Tom Olson out Lodi, Wisconsin. The 2024 Polaris 600R is going to be coming out here onto the ice. Had his best finish back in 2021 as he finished P2 at that time. So will join us here for a qualifying effort. Our 21st sled to take time. So it looks like just 3 sleds remain on this. We did have a scratch early on in this one. Wow. Well, when he punched the throttle down there in turn number 3 and 4 and brought it on the front straightaway, that thing kind of set around into a beautiful stance and powered onto the front chute. And Olson might have something here. Keep your eye on Tom at number 39 down into turn number 3 and 4. Just a little hitch to giddy up getting into the corner, but boy, that thing looks solid coming out. Lap number 1 for Olson's going to be an 18.100. Exits beautifully. Entrance needs a little bit of work there on the setup of that sled. You see the big old slide, but watch this thing come out of the corner. That baby digs. Ain't no doubt about it. Combined time going to be a 36.308, 36.308. And that's good enough for 7th quick for Tom Olson on the 39 sled. So goes up through the field and settles himself just behind Tanner Foss in 6th. So 7th quick for the number 39. So we'll run 2 more time trials here, then we'll have a grooming session, then we'll go into our second round for some of these sleds that bought back in for a second attempt in qualifying. This should be Thief River Falls, Minnesota racer on 2023 Arctic Cat ZR600R. 60 helmets, C&A Pro Skis, Northern Nature Seed, sponsors of the 231 of Benjamin Langus. Finished 6th back in 2022 as he gets the Cat up to temp. Benjamin down into turn number 1. sled just a little touchy. You can see it in the 231 whenever he hunkers down on the side of it. Just has a little twitch to it. So he'll fight it out. Turn number 4 and across. Lap number 1 coming out here for Benjamin to work on the handling of that sled. 20.058. 20.058. He muscles onto the back chute. Second effort coming around. Again, working the bars down low. He's got some clean ice to work with out. Turn number 4, though. For 231 combined time, going to be a 39.893. 39.893, and that'll be good enough for 20th quick on the field. So 20th quick for Benjamin Langus on the 231. Bring out our final qualifier for round number 1. We will have a couple of sleds back for round number 2 after a brief grooming session. But your final qualifier comes out of Pequannock, Michigan on the 2022 Polaris IQR, Applebee's, Jovic Enterprises, White's Fishery and Smokehouse, number 22, Andy Shoemaker. Finished 5th back in 2023 for his best finish. Again, a shout out and thank you to Snowgoer Magazine for the wonderful article and info. Good looking sled. Looks like something out of Tron. A little worried our camera platform's going to blow away out there. Cody might not be able to come inside. He'll have to stay out there and hold the camera platform down in what's left of his tent. Here we go. Andy Shoemaker bringing the heat out of turn number 4. Good looking sled and fast down into turn number 1 and 2 is going to work smooth ice up just a little bit higher. Look at that wide entry, low exit, and that looks like a fast lap waiting to happen. See what Shoemaker has in store for us. He howls down into turn number 3 and 4. Your final sled to qualify in round number 1. More sleds coming up after his grooming session, but opening lap for Andy is going to be an 18.528. 18.528. That's a pretty good lap for the number 22. Shoemaker down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Again, sticks with the game plan there and kind of carves the same line onto turn number 4. We saw last lap around. Combined time is going to be a 36.858. 36.858, and that's good enough for 8th quick on the field ahead of Tavish Perry. So P8 for the number 22. Now takes into another plow break. But your quick qualifier, Blaine Stevenson, 35.525. That number seeming to hold. Reed Klinger, second quick. Matt Gady, Zach DeWald, Joey Birch. Your top 5, Tanner Foss, Thomas Olson, Tavish Perry, Gavin Peterson, Dustin Schwant, your top 10. Then it's Gunnar Stern, Mason Schutte, Luke Olson, Zach Rogers, Calvin Cook, Tyler Town, Ryan McKeag, Ezra Grauman, Tyler Foster, Benjamin Langus, Dakota Harris, Dan Voltner, and Andy Shoemaker, your top 23. So 23 sleds have timed in. Only 12 will make the field, but we have a couple sleds coming out here for a second qualifying attempt after this grooming session. We'll be back with more from time trials for the Vintage World Championship. 62nd running of the Vintage World Championship here at the World Championship Derby Complex in Eagle River, Wisconsin. All righty, we are set to go. This is the second round of qualifying for a couple of the sleds that bought back in again. Should be seeing the 04 coming back out here for another attempt. We're going to call it the 04 EXO. Luke Olson out of Ishpeming, Michigan. Meyer Yamaha 04. Now Olson currently sits down in the number 13 spot on his first attempt, 37.318, so 37.318. Should point out, if you do buy back in for a second attempt at qualifying, only your best attempt counts. So it's not like you take a chance on not getting your time. So if he would qualify worse than 13th quick, he still gets to stay 13th quick with that first effort. So point that out before we get underway here. So his first effort was a 37.318. He's looking for improvement on that. If he wants to sit up top, he's got to be a very healthy 35.525 combined 2 laps. So we'll see what happens here with the 2022 Polaris 600R. So here we go, Luke Olson coming out onto the ice. On the clock. So Olson again, 37.318 was his first effort. Coming around, lap number 1 for Luke Olson is going to be an 18.243, 18.243, and I believe that's going to be better than his first time out. As it snapped around on him a little bit, getting down into turn number 1. Olson drops a knee down into 3. That's bad. Pulled the sled over on top of him. Red flag coming out. Olson into the bales, but was setting up. Yeah, he's going to be okay. Walk back down to the sled, and unfortunately, the second effort. Well, he's going all the way to the bottom. Good balance, though. So we'll have to do a little bit of bale work. Sled did not get into the bales, but whenever he got down to bring it into turn number 3, unfortunately, pulled the sled over on top of him as he got a little bit too much left side. So he will stay 13th quick on the field, I believe, for Luke Olson. Or I'm sorry, 14th quick. Legend George in the house, taking care of the sound system out here these past 2 weekends. Well, and moving forward here with the Derby Complex. Been here longer than I have. So shout out to Legend. Thank you so much for coming out here and making this all possible. But also tells me that the 04 was Chuck Decker back in the day. Now it's Luke Olson. And unfortunately, he's going to have to stick with his first qualifying effort in a 14th quick. I said 13th, but 14th quick, a 37.318. So that'll bring out our next qualifier, back for a second effort. This will be Eagle River, Wisconsin runner Tavish Perry on the 2023 Skidoo 600 RS. Woody's traction ride. His first effort was 9th quick on the field, a 36.924. So 9th quick, 36.924. As Tavish Perry will try to improve that. Bale repair is complete. Officials making their way down off the racetrack, picking up a little bit of debris. On the way. So Tavish Perry again, 9th quick, 36.924 coming around here to take the green flag on the 85X. The Skidoo up high. Down low. Well, he's patient with the sled through the corners. Just lets it carve its own line before he gets back to the throttle and get on the straightaway. And it looks good in 1 to 2. 3 and 4's got a little bit of a something that takes place. Opening lap, though, is going to be an 18.457, 18.457. Pushes a little harder that time down that end of the racetrack. So head to the north end. Up north, better that time getting into the corner. Might be quicker coming out turn number 4. We'll see what he has in store for us. So get across, and he's going to stay, I believe, 9th quick at 36.966. 36.966, just a tick slower his second effort than his first effort. So first time out, he went 36.924. He was 9th quick. That time went 36.966. So no improvement. He will stay 9th quick on the field for Tavish Perry. So that brings out the 326 sled. Dustin Schwantz out of Fox Lake, Wisconsin on the 2023 Arctic Cat ZR600R. Rocks Speed FX, 1051 towing and recovery. Manowski Welding. He currently sits the 11th quick on the field with the 37.108. So 11th quick for now for Dustin Schwantz. He'll try to improve his time. Well, heating the pipe on the Arctic Cat. She must be a cold one. It's taking him just a little bit to get her up to temperature. There she goes. So Schwant looking for improvement, as they all are. Angle of attack out of turn number 4. So he flies across the line, picks up the green flag, and we're off and running. Good corner, snaps a little loose, getting out turn number 2 as he got to the throttle. So may had to feather a little bit that end of the racetrack. First effort coming around here for Schwant. So his opening lap is going to be an 18.425, 18.425. As he pushes hard down the back straightaway. Oops. Loose tight. Combined time for Schwant is going to be still 11th quick. Unfortunately, last time it looks like 37.108. 37.171. So 37.171 combined time for him. His first effort was the 37.108. So he will stay 11th quick on the field for Dustin Schwantz. So no improvement there on his second effort. Gunnar Stern coming out here, West Chicago, Illinois racer on a 220 sled. 2023 Skidoo RS. Looking down through, we have Gunnar Stern, Mason Schutte, and Tyler Town will be coming out for another qualifying effort, and that'll do it for qualifying. A little surprised Dakota Harris didn't buy back in. So he had those issues for the number 23, definitely faster than what it appears when you look at qualifying because he sits 22nd quick on the field, apparently not worried about it. As Gunnar takes the green flag. Pops back up on top of the sled, gets back down on the ice, down at turn number 3 and 4. Boy, he's got a nice line going in there for the 220. We should see improvement out of this one. Stern coming across is going to go in 18.438, 18.438. Currently sits 12th quick. 37.152 was his combined time the first time. So 12th quick for the 220 sled. He's looking for improvement as he works the low line, and that time didn't work quite as well down turn number 3 and 4. So Stern is going to go at 37.406, actually slower his second effort. So 37.152 the first time he was out on the ice. He's 12th quick with that, 37.406. No improvement to be found for Stern. Now the 48X coming out here, Mason Schutte out of Eagle River, Wisconsin, 2024 Polaris IQR 600. Cook's Performance. Lofter Racing, Woody's Traction, sponsors on the 48X. Schutte, the 48X, currently sitting 13th quick on the field, a 37.246, 37.246. So all the second efforts we have seen so far have not improved position nor time. That looked pretty good coming out turn number 4. The Polaris takes the green flag down into turn number 1 and 2. Schutte down on the side. We heard him pump the throttle coming out past the paddock area. She started to loosen up there, not digging like he wanted for the 48X. Lap number 1 coming around for Mason. Takes it across with a 19.122, 19.122. I expected to be a little faster than that. I'm surprised it was in the 19-second bracket on the opening lap. Let's see what he has in store here. He's got to pick up a lot of pace on this second trip around for the 48X sled. Combined time is going to be a 38.022. His first effort was a 37.246. He will not improve. He stays 13th quick on the field for Schutte. So this will take us into our final qualifier for the 62nd running of the World Championship Snowmobile Derby. It's the Traverse City, Michigan racer on the 2022 Skidoo RS 600. This is number 2 with Tyler Town coming out. Tyler's first effort, a 37.950. And that currently has him sitting down in the number 17 spot. So 17th quick for now for Tyler Town. Alrighty, tighty. Well, Tyler Town needs to get rid of the wiggle in his walk here through the apex. We'll see if he can do it down to turn number 1 and 2. You see him working the bars pretty hard on the number 2 sled. Not too shabby, though, at that end of the racetrack. And again, looking for improvement from the number 17 qualified spot for now for the number 2, and much better in turn number 3 and 4. It's Town across. Opening lap on his second effort for Tyler is going to be an 18.883, 18.883. Definitely better than his first attempt so far. We'll see if he can stick it down here in turn number 3 and 4 and bring it around to a checkered flag. Town's going to go 37.747, 37.747. He does improve his lap time, or his qualifying time, but does not improve his position. He will stay 17th quick. So 37.747, still 17th quick on the field, although he was 0.2 of a second quicker in his first qualifying effort. So the only sled that got quicker on his second time out here, but unfortunately not enough to pick up a spot. So Blaine Stevenson, your quick qualifier out here for the World Championship time trials with 35.525. Reed Klinger is second quick. Matt Gady, Zach DeWald, Joseph Birch, your top 5 behind Joey. Tanner Foss is 6th quick, then Thomas Olson, Andy Shoemaker, Tavish Perry, and Gavin Peterson, the top 10. Dustin Schwant was 11th quick, 12th quick, Gunnar Stern, Mason Schutte, Luke Olson, and Zach Rogers, your top 15, followed by Calvin Cook, Tyler Town, Ryan McCaig, Ezra Grauman, and Tyler Foster, your top 20. Benjamin Langus, Dakota Harris, and Dan Voltner round out the 23 sleds that qualified for the WC. And that will end race number 1 on the day. Well, as you can see, a plow break happening out here. Great opportunity for you to slide down into the Derby Hall and grab yourself something to eat, something to drink. Shout out and thank you to the Snow Eagles that are set up down there feeding the masses out here this weekend at this 62nd running of the World Championship Snowmobile Derby. Grooming break, and then we'll come back with racing action today during the daytime portion. Now, we have Friday Night Thunder tonight. Don't forget about